Hi, we have Shibin Chulliparambil today as a CyberSec leader who comes with over 20 years of experience in the IT industry. He is currently the CIO at Mafatlal Industries and running a parallel role of a CEO at Vrat Technologies, an IT company the group has ventured into. Let's hear about him from him in this series, Cybersecurity, a Way of Life, where leaders in the IT sector share their insights and opinions on the cybersecurity industry. Please welcome Shibin. So, Shibin, cybersecurity, of course, has gained a lot of momentum, a lot of importance, right? So, how big was the industry pre-COVID, and now how big is it post-COVID?
I think cybersecurity actually was a pretty big industry pre-COVID as well.
Okay.
I think
Just that people didn't focus.
yeah, it was there, and just after COVID, it has propelled so much.
Right.
Right from I think organizations did realize cybersecurity very early in 2019, 18, and all. But as individuals, there was still a lack in that, which I think COVID gave a very
Very
big
compelling
boost.
reason, yeah, true.
Absolutely. It gave wings to cybersecurity, and it has zoomed past. I think one of the leading things right now in IT is security, cybersecurity. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's a reason. The basic reason for it is right now you're operating everything digital.
True.
Right, everything is digital. So you need to have securities around it. You are hearing a lot of data leaks, there are a lot of privacy issues, government bringing in rules, etc. This is eventually, it is not eventually, it is growing, and I think it is definitely to 2x, 3x times, it is definitely going to go.
So I think it's the next booming industry.
Absolutely. It is booming, it will be booming.
Continue.
It will continue.
True. Now, Shibin, what do you think are the key components when an organization is looking to implement security solutions for their organization? What are the key components that they should be stressing upon?
I think every organization, matured organizations, will already have some kind of security in place. I think the level of maturity will decide what are the key factors as next steps. Somebody who is not matured should start off with the perimeter security. Look at what they have as a firewall, what they have as an email security. Most of the organizations overlook these kind of initiatives, like as simple as email security, which is, I think, very critical to have, because email is one of the very easiest targeted things as an individual.
Right.
The hackers are, they'll spend, they're way ahead of us as we speak. But I think these are small things which organizations should realize, that these are not a spend that is just for the namesake, but it is a security that will that will protect you from your image of the organization as well.
Right.
So I think the maturity level of an organization, how matured they are in terms of IT, how mature they are in terms of cybersecurity, will decide what is the next steps. Like mature organizations should think of an identity management or a privilege access management, all that stuff. But it is all depending on where you are currently and what is the next steps.
Next steps that you're looking at. Interesting. Now, like you said, hackers are way ahead of us. So like the solutions that are improving, hackers are also improving along with that. What do you think organizations must do to counter that on a continuous basis?
I think a lot of audits are required as a audit in terms of validating what you have done,
right,
as a cybersecurity initiative. Okay, validate whether you implemented it right. As simple as firewall. Okay, have you configured the right rules in this firewall? Have you blocked the right set of applications on the firewall? These are something which are, I think, very important from keeping a check on yourself. Okay, you spend some money, but what is it that, is it working or is it not working? Because that will give you a perspective into your next steps.
True.
Because if this is working and still you are getting certain hacks or certain intuitions into your organization, you need to think on next steps. What is that I'm lacking behind on, and what is the initiative that I need to take?
So continuous assessment is what you would recommend
Absolutely.
organizations to do. Okay. How will these security threats continue to evolve? What is your perspective on that?
So as I said earlier as well, hackers are way ahead of us, and I think cybersecurity threats are no longer a threat to an organization, but it is also a threat as you as an individual as well. Your money is today at stake as well, because you carry everything on your mobile. You have your banking on your mobile. So I think evolution is already they're way ahead of us, I think, and by the time we catch up with them, they'll
be one step
ahead of us. So I think there is no question of how they will evolve. I think they are already in the evolution stage. Yeah.
Okay. Now, cyber insurance, the concept didn't really exist before. It was there, but people weren't aware. Is it still at a nascent stage in India? And do you think it will grow in the coming years?
Absolutely. I think cyber insurance is something which is going to come in as the cybersecurity is growing. All those initiatives are going. People are realizing as you have a mediclaim.
Right.
I think it is equally necessary for an organization to have a cybersecurity insurance. I think, in fact, we are also ourselves looking at something very soon. So yeah, it is rightly said, it's a very niche stage. People did not understand so far, but with the number of hacks, with the number of ransomware attacks, with the number of malware attacks, all that, people are realizing the value of data.
True.
Till the time the value of data is not realized, I guess insurance would not play that key role. So right now, when the data realization, the value of data is being realized by everyone, I think it is definitely. I think it would be equally as a mediclaim policy and all that you are taking up.
So we already hear them saying data is the new gold. Oil. Data is the new oil.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and it needs to be insured.
Definitely.
Sure. Okay. My next question is, what is zero trust security and how is it applicable in these times?
So I think the name itself suggests zero trust. You don't trust anyone, anything, or any component of that matter. For you, anything, corporates or organizations, they have a tendency that when we work in a secured environment within our company, everything is ours and everything is safe and secure. But with current times, that's not the case.
True.
I think every device or every laptop or a computer or a mobile that connects to your network should be verified and authenticated as it is trusted device. That's, I think, the core of zero trust. I think it's, as the term suggests, you don't trust anybody right now.
So your solutions have to revolve around that and no compromise on that bit.
No. I mean, we are still a little behind, but we will evolve.
Catch up.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Do you think is building a team of cybersecurity internally a much better option than to outsource it?
As per me, a hybrid solution does work.
Okay.
You need to have certain individuals at certain levels in the organization from a cybersecurity perspective who handles the security aspect, who can work with external partners.
Okay.
But there needs to be a team who would identify the loopholes within the system and then go back. So for me, a hybrid solution definitely works
better.
Yeah.
So we're talking about UBA and PAM, the user behavior analytics and privilege access management. So Shibin, what is your take on UBA and what is the need of it and how does it help?
I think UBA primarily focuses on the internal user or internal threat perspective. Okay. It doesn't, so how is a user behaving? What is his general set of activities? How does he behave? That's something which UBA targets on. Okay, user behavior is targeted on. And it is necessity for times like these when there is a lot of cyber challenges revolving around you, to understand if there is some malware which is behaving abruptly in that user's machine, which captures attention of these solutions and brought to light. I think that is, yeah.
How big do you think this feature is going to be now, especially after COVID?
So I think it is going to be a key factor also, but from an India perspective, UBA is not so largely accepted in terms of current scenes. So I think we as an country or an IT evolvement, we need to still focus on these aspects.
But do you think it is the need of the hour because people are working from their homes or from farmhouses or from hotels and different locations?
All the more relevant for us to have it.
Right.
Yeah. So because we'll need to understand. So it's not about what time you log in and what time you log off. It is about what you do.
Right. It's the analysis that one needs to be monitored.
Correct.
Right. Do you think it's digging into user privacy or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
It wouldn't upset users to.
No, not at all.
Okay. Privilege access management is something that goes hand in hand with UBA. How critical is it to employ PAM solutions for an organization?
So, highly matured organizations can definitely look at these solutions. But I think largely our industries in India are not reached to that level. Okay. But there are organizations which have done this and they are seeing the results of it also. So, privilege access management largely is only targeted towards people who have extra privileges, who have access to the backends, largely IT team concentrated on all. So this is fine, I guess. If not immediate, at some time later during the year also people can start working on this kind of
this. So of course it's going to be again a key component in the piece of strategy.
Yes, definitely. So it goes step by step. You put in your UBA, you put PAM, you put IDAM, etc.
Okay. Now, a host of IT standards such as PCI DSS, HIPAA, ISO 27001, and regulations like GDPR, among many other local regulations which are mandated by the government, and central banks explicitly ask for roles and rule-based access, right? Multi-factor authentication, password vaulting, etc. to protect data. Like it's endless. The list is endless. Why is so much weightage given on PAM by these standards?
These are actually required by norms in terms of where there are a high probability of data leak access. When you talk about BFSI as an industry,
right.
We talk about pharmaceuticals who deal with patents, etc. These are companies who that they need to protect their core business. Okay, their core is their data. True. So I think this is I think there are regulations. Why this is being brought is because we have seen a lot of hacks and etc. on banks. Yeah. See healthcare being targeted by the hackers and all. There are also insider threats which happens in the organization. There is data leaks within the organization. Solutions like these kind of protect those. For whom, like a pharma company, for them the patent is everything.
Yeah, R&D.
R&D. So the data of a patent, R&D, if it is leaked, you lose your,
everything.
True. So I think it's very, very important, not from a governmental perspective, but even from an organization perspective, it is very important for such kind of industries to have it. Yeah. Versus somebody who's in a textile industry, we do not have so much of R&D and so we are relaxed. I think we can still work on. But at the same time, we have customer data, which is probably overseas data, which we need to take some protection, so we need to have those kind of mix and match solutions. But very important for companies in healthcare, companies in BFSI segment, etc. So they need to be very upfront.
So would I be right in saying that companies which hold a lot of public information, those kind of companies need this kind of
absolutely
regulation?
Not just company who hold public data, but also whose core existence is their data.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Now, how different is PAM from IDAM, that's Identity Access Management?
I think it's the next level of PAM is only focusing on certain restricted group people. But identity access management is for everyone, I guess. When I go into my office and I turn on my laptop or bring out my mobile and see, it gets automatically connected to my Wi-Fi.
It does everything.
Yeah, so it's your single sign-on things, your domain ID passwords works like that. So I think identity management is the first step. Then comes the PAM.
Interesting. Well, that was Shibin for us. A very interesting conversation. We heard a lot from him today, from an IT perspective, from cybersecurity, privilege access, and a lot on his personal front. So thank you so much, Shibin. It's been
Thank you, Roshan. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Pleasure.